and Joe sit down to chat. New ideas spark, they can't be that. Podcast fun, fury so grand. Laughter flows, no need for a band. From life stories to wild speculations, each episode brings joy, makes you relaxations. Lazy or gamble, we're off to explore. Laugh and learn, our show is forever. Incredible theories, side by side. Joyful moments we'll never hide.
Oh, welcome everybody. This is the Glacier Gamble Podcast. We are back. Now you may be wondering, where have you been? Why have you been gone for so long? The answer is, life happens. We really just do this for fun. So if you enjoy us, I hope you just enjoy every video that we post when we post. We try to post as regularly as we can. It was a Marvel Dead Zone. We had some ideas for videos, but, my son's turning 1. Both daughter got her tooth knocked out. Stuff happens. The house has a leak in the wall. Life.
Same here.
I found some behind my dryer. Found some water behind my dryer during this recent flood that just happened, and I was like, "Crap, what's it? What is it?" So I looked, found out it was coming from outside underneath my deck.
Yeah,
so I got
nice.
So it's. Anyway, so we're here now because we have something to talk about, which is Ironheart, and we're here to have fun. I also am so originally we were pushing this podcast, these episodes, because I wanted it to, I was hoping, it could be a part-time thing, side thing that's super fun. Taking all the stress away from that because, life has its own stresses. I just want to do this for fun. And we
can always pick up when, there's more.
We'll always, when Superman comes out, we're going to have a Superman thing. We're going to keep talking Ironheart. And when we have time, we will have fun episodes. In my opinion, our color draft episodes were very fun. And I think people would enjoy those. So if you haven't seen them.
13 views on those. So.
Yeah, if you haven't seen them, go check. I know our fan may be disappointed that we do change some things. But really, it's more, for me, at least, I can't speak for Joe. So this is all Luke, all me. It's more just an attitude. I kind of, what I like when I listen to podcasts or when I listen to the radio, because I do still love the radio, the best shows are the ones that are most just conversational. I feel like I've kind of attacked this as analytical. And I kind of want, that doesn't feel as real. So just kind of answering honestly as me, and instead of, trying to research every character in the show before it comes out so I have all these different things I can reference back to, I kind of wanted to go in blind for this first iteration of being a little bit more casual in my takes. I went in blind to Ironheart. Ironheart, if I'm not mistaken, is a fairly new character introduced to Marvel, right? 2016 was her first appearance in the comics.
Riri Williams, yep, sure.
And I really liked her in Black Panther 2. And because I just love Marvel in general, I was really excited for a new Marvel project coming out. And
directed by Ryan Coogler, also cool.
Absolutely.
Went straight from Black Panther 2 into, kind of thinking about what he wants to do for Ironheart and kind of running Ironheart, which I thought was, but keeping those kind of same characters and keeping the same tone of Riri Williams. Also super cool. So
yeah.
Shout out Ryan Coogler, just give him Blade and let's call it a day. And then
I'm cool if they, I'm totally cool if they give him Blade.
Especially with the success of Sinners, give him the vampires, man. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. I'm right there with you. I haven't seen Sinners, but I really, really want to.
I mean, Haley Steinfeld spits in Michael B. Jordan's mouth. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, and I like both of them a lot.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say both of those things. I was like,
I'm worried with that movie that the hype is going to be too, everybody's hyped it up too much.
Joker-esque, where they should have just left Joker alone and done one movie, but then they decided to do a second movie and it wasn't as good as the first movie, and everyone's like...
With Sinners?
No, with Joker and then Joker Folie à Deux.
Oh, yeah.
They fans were pushing for it, and then it didn't meet their expectations, and everyone was like, well, they only wanted to do just the Joker. you guys pushed him to do a second one, and so like
Yeah.
can't capture that same magic every time. So that's what I think Sinners is kind of heading towards, because Sinners was just supposed to be like a one-off thing, and then
Like people
they're
asking
pushing
for
for a
another
second
one.
right? So
I'm just worried that everybody's telling me it's like the best movie they've seen. It made a bunch of money. It's like the best movie they've seen in a
it
long
was
time.
good. I mean, it was good.
You saw it?
I did. Yeah, I saw it when I was in Arizona with Maple and Felicia. But
Nice.
yeah, it was good. I don't know. It didn't like blow me away, but it was like really. It was a really good movie.
Yeah.
Like so.
Well, I still want to see it, but there's also like just added on the pile of movies and shows I'd like to watch.
Oh, of course, right.
But yeah, in terms of new movies, especially, that's one that's high up on that list. But yeah, give Ryan Coogler Blade, and we'll call it a day. I did think. So I wanted to talk because I thought I don't know how your cookies appear for the movie here, like, or for this Ironheart, for how it's appeared on your feed. But for me, I'm getting a mix of people that like really, really like it, and then people making posts, and it's a bunch of like really racist comments in the comments, or like
Sure.
people saying it's woke, or that it doesn't have a Marvel feel. Like it's a lot of people I feel like that are making excuses for wanting to dislike it. I don't know if you saw, it's a 3 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh yeah, but you saw the bombs.
Yeah.
They were bombing it already. So
Exactly, and like
they bombed it before it came out. Even
I don't know if
so.
you've. I'm not going to make an assumption because you'll eventually tell us and the audience and who's ever listening or watching. I don't know if you even have liked it. However, I feel like I could make a large sum money bet you don't think it's worse than a 4 out of 10.
No, not by any means. No, okay. So on Netflix, there's a show called, I believe, Good Girls. I believe there's a show called Good Girls on Netflix.
Okay.
And the guy who plays John.
Okay, John.
In the first episode, John. He's like the main. He plays a character named Rio in there. He's like drug dealer, crime boss, very similar to this role here that he plays. And he's just phenomenal in that. And so like him just simply being in this project was like awesome for me, because it's like someone that I think does a really good job in a different show. Join the Marvel world, whether in whatever capacity they're in.
I believe that's Manny Montana.
Yeah, something like
something
that.
Montana.
Great.
I think I believe his
great
last name is Montana.
at his role. And so yeah, like I was super excited to just see him in this project, and then obviously like Anthony Ramos,
Dude,
guy plays.
I will straight up. I did not know who he was because
He's the main in the last Transformers movie.
Right, so I haven't seen the
on the rise,
most recent
right.
Transformers. I didn't see. I think he was in like Star Wars or something.
Maybe, yeah.
There was like
he's been in a couple.
There was like a larger project he was in that I hadn't seen. I knew he was in like Hamilton. I think that was the only thing I had seen him in at all. But I was like, who is that? At first, when they had him from a distance, I was like, kind of reminds me of Terrence Howard, but that's not Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely like feels like that, but just like way kind of like dreamier. He's a very attractive man.
Yeah, he's a good looking dude.
Got
bulked for this too. Holy shit!
I looked him up because I was like, I gotta figure out who this guy is. And my daughter loves the movie Bad Guys, the animated movie. He is the voice of Piranha, and he gets to show his pipes in Piranha. I'm sure he does in Hamilton as well, but he's such a good singer as well. Like he's he's got some pipes, and I was like, God dang it, dude, you're good looking. You're in Marvel now. You're a good singer. Like, screw you, man. Screw
Honestly, yeah.
But oh my God, he stands out. He's incredible. He's him and multiple other people in this show, by the way, are making their character so real. I feel like you can get immersed quickly. I feel like I'm watching it, I'm like, I could believe this is happening 2 states over. Like if you told me this was a live thing happening, I'd be like, yeah, Yeah, that
Sure.
I could.
In Chicago.
Yeah, you're telling me like Williams is real and this is actually happening. I'd be like, totally, I believe it. These people seem real, and I think that's a good credit not only to the like writing, but I think like all the acting in it has been crazy. And you mentioned Anthony Ramos is on the rise.
Yeah, I think he is. As soon as as soon as I saw Transformers, I don't know where I saw it. I either watched it on like Paramount or Max or something like that. And then literally like within a week after that, it was like Anthony Ramos joins Ironheart. And I was like, all right, here we go. This dude is on the up and up, man. Like you get a main feature in a big franchise, like
Right.
Transformers franchise, and then like now you're joining the Marvel world and probably playing the main antagonist, like
For sure. Yep.
for sure. Like that's awesome. That's
Main
awesome.
antagonist, you say, because there are multiple,
Yeah.
or at least especially multiple hinted at or being shown to us. But yeah, like if sticking with the actors as well, like Dominique Thorne, I thought she was already good in Wakanda. Her Riri feels very different of a character compared to Black Panther 2. I feel like she definitely has a very different feel.
The one kind of gripe I have with this, like the story wise, is like I believe that Shuri would have if Dominique or if Riri Williams really wanted to like continue to work on her stuff, Wakanda has the tools for her. And
Yeah.
so like it's very questionable why she would just like leave that. She would like
I
leave
thought
that.
I thought they kind of told her she had to go.
I guess I don't remember.
It's been a while since I've watched the second one.
Yeah, it's just very. I don't know. That just seems a little.
It could be similar to like Mandela effect, where you remember something differently. If
Sure.
I could be creating a memory that isn't real, but I feel as though she was told she has to go, and like Bucky was also leaving at that point.
Sure.
So
I remember the small like Shuri met her at school, and she's like, "No, I gotta do this or something like that." I don't know. Then she just drops out right after that.
Yeah.
I need to do this myself.
Oh,
It's
drops
like-
out or gets kicked out.
Yeah. Right. So.
But you were talking about Anthony Ramos on the rise. We already knew Dominic Thorne, but so Riri, her version of Jarvis is Natalie.
Right.
And
Sure.
the woman who plays Natalie, her name is Lyric Ross. I looked up everybody in the show because I wanted to like there was a few people that kind of blew me away, or I'm like, you're gonna be in more things that I see.
I mean, those are probably the top three, right?
Yeah.
The top three so far.
I was like, all right, what other things am I gonna see Anthony Ramos in? And Lyric Ross is going to be huge. I think she's gonna get a couple big roles coming out here after this.
Sure.
Obviously, if she is going to be the foreseeable AI like Jarvis was, she'll be in Marvel consistently. So that obviously we'll see her a lot there. But I thought it's very convenient for them to have a physical actor available. Unlike Paul Bettany was often just voice before he became Vision.
Sure.
But now they can, put, like they did already, they put Lyric in the suit. They put Natalie in the suit. It's kind of nice to have somebody physically there. It makes the acting easier. I think it makes the conversationalism between the two easier. I don't know. I don't know how you felt. I saw some people were torn on how they felt about Natalie.
I wish
I really liked it.
I did like it. I'd almost and for her to just kind of like almost like fuck around and create this AI, right? Like
Yeah.
she didn't wasn't 100% intentional.
And fix
for
her
it to
suit
be-
within like 24 hours.
And for it to be so realistic. And I know that like when something passes through it, it's like glitchy and stuff like that. I wish there was almost more of that. Like almost more like we're still like we got 90% of the AI how we wanted, but it's still kind of working out the kinks.
Well, and
Not just like flawless off the rip.
And
I think
Zeke
that's-
made it sound like she should have died. Zeke said that
right.
that her brain was like if somebody tried to do that to make that AI, their brain would have melted and they'd be dead.
Right.
So I feel like that was their way of kind of saying like, oh, this was a 1%
anomaly.
chance. Like, it was an
Yeah.
anomaly. And that's kind of how they're going to,
Sure.
it's going to be convenient when it needs to be convenient, when you don't want to have to
Right.
write those details
She's
in.
got the plot armor. Like,
Yeah.
Ironheart, that's
Like
the plot armor. Right.
her being extra physically there is going to be convenient when it is, but then her being like able to access something from a distance is all of a sudden easier. It
Right.
was, there was times where I was like, this is a little too convenient, and she's much more of a person than an AI, which is very strange.
And I love the Obadiah Stane callback, from the very first, like, you're tying her to Iron Man, and you're tying this, this side character to Obadiah Stane, which is, part of that trilogy. So,
and Zeke does become a villain in the comic, so it could be another, like, that's what I meant earlier when I was like, we might be having like a second villain splash. I think
I like the side tech guy. I like the side tech guy for this, because it almost seems like he has no friends, and like, and it's just weird for like a 30, whatever, what do you say, it was like 37 or something like that, 34, some like 30-year-old person to just have a friend.
Yeah.
So I do like that kind of dynamic. But also, like,
you mean Zeke?
Yeah. Like, I just think like it's kind of like it's like a weird dynamic in regards to, like, they're just friends, But except now it's like, well,
now they've both blackmailed each other.
Is the one thing he didn't want, you did. So she's in a shitty spot right now. But
right, she left his tech behind after killing a man, technically.
Yep.
That was the other backlash I've seen, because people, like I mentioned,
refusing to save him or letting him suffocate, like,
right after he was trying to kill her.
Right.
And anyway,
but from John's point of view, you could have killed her brother.
Yeah.
Or his like
killed his
best friend.
Killed his best friend and then took his part of his cloak.
He doesn't know. Right. Like, he doesn't know from that point of view. Like, he's got to assume the worst.
Yep.
So,
especially in their line of work.
Yeah. And the fact that you were already, like, combative with the group. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, from John's point of view, like,
yeah,
he's right in his actions, I guess. Like, but yeah, then I don't know. It's just, it's rough for her. But
yeah. A lot of what I've seen for the negative part. Otherwise, I've seen a lot of positive. The negative part, where people are kind of searching for reasons to dislike it, which I think they go into this not wanting to like it. But people are saying Tony Stark.
There's always going to be a hater. There's never going to be a movie that people like.
And they keep comparing her to Tony Stark, as if she's supposed to be Iron Man's replacement. It's like, no, she's Ironheart. She has similar interests as Tony, but she's not supposed to be Tony Stark.
Right.
It's.
They said the same thing for Spider-Man.
Right. It's not like when people compare, like, this Jared Leto's Joker was so different than Heath Ledger's. Like, okay, yeah, they're two people playing the same character. She's playing Ironheart. Stop comparing her to Iron Man. People are like, Iron Man would never have killed that guy. And I was like, how many men have you seen Iron Man destroy and kill?
that whole like,
the first movie is him. He kills 100 people. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So when people say it's like, okay, you don't want to like it, that's fine. I saw people mad about the language that they use in the show, saying it's unrealistic. Obviously, people are calling it woke because there's somebody who's non-binary and they go by they them.
Yeah.
Who cares? I think that the show.
Yeah, I didn't find any problems with the group.
They've yet to like call out anything. Like, it's not like it's made a plot point that they have somebody who goes by they them pronouns. It's not like it's been like a plot point for any of these things that they dislike. Tony Stark has been mentioned a couple times, but not as a replacement to Tony. Just kind of weird to me, the just don't watch. It's fine. And if you don't like it, that's fine. Go ahead and be open about it. But
We say this once a podcast that Marvel's made for me, not you. So it's like
yeah, if it's not
made
made
for
for you,
us, not them.
I was talking to my wife about it, and she said that maybe you're not the target demographic. I was like, I know. I feel like I'm really enjoying this. I don't understand why a lot of people aren't. I understand it, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I've felt the majority of emotions you want to feel during a action show, a drama show. And right now, after the third episode, I felt like, oh, the all is lost moment. Like it was very intense. And obviously she's having like another panic attack, which she's had multiple, but this time it's for a different reason. Instead of PTSD, it's like a genuine panic attack.
Right, yeah. Which is also very warranted in her situation.
Right.
Like,
and we're learning more about, especially for people unfamiliar with who the Hood is. We're kind of learning more about Parker, and now we know that like Parker was informed that she killed him, that she killed his brother.
Right.
So now she probably knows. Do you think she knows that or no? I don't think she necessarily knows that part.
I don't think she would know that.
I felt like she was crying over guilt of letting him die on top of losing that
letting the tech
equipment.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like that's how Zeke's going to become villain, is he's going to get turned in for the tech.
Right.
He's going to...
I also think that, like, just going back to, like, the Zeke dynamic is, like, Zeke doesn't have any friends, but also, like, she doesn't have any friends.
She has Zay.
You know, like, Natalie, like, yeah, Natalie, like, is not there anymore, her best friend. So, like, just the... Yeah, I don't know.
She has her mom and Zay. Like, that's it.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I hate for them to like do the same thing, you know. So like Zeke Stain does go bad in the comics, but like, do we need the exact same line or the exact same like path as that Obadiah took? I guess like the bad path. But I don't know, I'm curious to see something different there. But either way, like.
By the way, it was the guy who played. It's the guy who plays Zeke that was in Star Wars, not Anthony Ramos.
Sure.
He was Han Solo.
Oh yeah, the younger Han Solo, in Solo.
Yeah, that's Zeke. Yeah, he's Han Solo.
I thought he actually did really good in that too.
Yeah,
that like cockiness.
And the character looks so different from clean shaven. He looks like a different person when he's clean shaven. It's crazy.
Sure. Right.
But yeah, I really like their dynamic. He is very scary to me. I don't know. He scares me.
Sure.
He's one of those guys where I feel like if you started talking to him one-on-one, there's a chance you don't get out alive. He feels like he's going to snap at some moment.
Flip a switch, sure.
Like when he cut all those flowers and then he puts okay, that's somebody acting out in anger. But then he walks away with one of the flowers in his mouth. He's like, oh no, that's a psycho.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. He cuts himself wide open and acts like nothing's wrong. Right. He's just he's fucked up, man. There's something wrong. But yeah, I like that dynamic as well. I don't know what they're gonna. I feel like he is gonna become a villain in a different sense, similar to how Hood is probably slightly different than what he is in the comics.
Yeah,
I feel like there's gonna be some sort of twist because, like, in the comics, it's because he killed a demon. But all he referenced in the show so far is that he got the Hood.
Yeah.
But in the comics,
and the whispers, like someone's talking to him too that you can't hear.
Right, you know? And in the comics, the whispers were Dormammu or
I think it was Dormammu.
Yeah, there was two separate people that whispered him. In one version, he is the servant of like Dormammu, and that's who he converses with. And the other, it was like an evil Doctor Strange or some like a character like that. But yeah, I'm assuming this would be Dormammu.
By the set list or by the episode list, episode 5 is like Karma's a bitch or something like that, and the M in Karma is tinted red. on
Mephisto.
the and so people think of Mephisto, man. And Sacha Baron Cohen was hinted at possibly taking that role and possibly being in here. So
God, that would be great.
it would be great.
And Mephisto
I
is
actually had a
with
dream last
Dormammu
night.
in the
I had a
comics
dream
often.
last night, and he was Mephisto in my dream. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I swear to God, it was in my dream.
He would be a good one if that ended up becoming like for sure a thing. He's gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Especially like as a villain. A lot of comic actors are really good as villains. And I feel
agree.
like he
Yeah, that's just the comedy actors can transition to horror really well.
So
That's just
tangent on that as well. So it's like comedy actors always joke that what makes them funny comics, they're always like they're dead inside.
sure.
Like they feel nothing, so they're really funny because it allows them to break things down analytically, remove
Sure.
emotion, blah blah blah. They're sociopaths. They often call them sociopaths. They found, I can't remember where the study was from, but there's a connection between people that are inherently funny. Like there was some sort of gene they targeted, and people with that gene were less receptive to capsaicin. So people that were generally more funny were better with spicy food. And
Sure.
I feel like
Yeah.
the joke there is that people that are funny are also dead inside. And like shows like Hot Ones, obviously everybody has different responses, but a lot of the people that have shown no reactions are like comedy actors or stand-up comedians.
Sure.
And I think that's really funny like Will Forte, I watched his recently. He's totally fine licking his lips. Conan O'Brien, he doesn't respond, like react to any of the wings. He's just it's really interesting to me, and I think Sacha Baron Cohen very much in that same light of if you're Jim Carrey, like if you put them in a villain, they're most likely going to be completely like the opposite spectrum or psychotic. It's
Sure.
just it's really interesting to me what if they do go with that, because I feel like he'd kill it. I like his talents. And yet another person on set that can sing. I'm sure they all can, but like
Yeah.
you have Anthony Ramos now, so let's turn it into a musical.
Sure. Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that about the karma as a bitch, so I didn't know that Mephisto is potential.
Yeah.
I thought Dormammu just because of the comics.
Red. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know where Dormammu's going to post up next, but
a lot
if
of
he
the
does
thoughts
at all, but
for me, for like when I'm trying to think, oh well, what could this be hinting at in the future? The problem with that is I keep thinking of, well, what have they shown us and hinted to us in the past when they seem to be trying to tell us we're never going to reference a lot of these things ever again. So like we haven't seen anything about Clea or Doctor Strange having his eye,
Right.
or America Chavez, or what happened with Scarlet Witch. Like we haven't gotten any clarity on any of these things. It's gonna start feeling like Grand Theft Auto soon, where it's been like 10 years and we haven't seen a post-credit scene reference.
right. Hercules.
So like when I was thinking Dormammu, I was like, well, the Hood in the comics is connected with Dormammu. Clea just took Doctor Strange, so I'm gonna guess that they have to fight Dormammu again. And obviously, I think Mephisto makes way more sense because it's been hinted at multiple times, especially in Agatha, which is way more recent.
Sure.
And we've seen Dormammu already.
Right.
But like in my head, I'm like, well, they've referenced, they probably want to bring these references back soon when I need to get out of that mindset and be like, no, pretend they're never ever going to see us again. And when I do that, I'm like, oh yeah, Mephisto. It's totally Mephisto.
Right. Yeah, I think with Doctor Strange being off world right now, like presumably, right? Like, and Wong is essentially defending the entire planet right now as the Sorcerer Supreme. So like Wong is doing something. Like Wong is doing big picture stuff. Doctor Strange isn't here.
Sure.
But like if she had that relationship with them, they would know. like Wong would know what this hood is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like Wong would have the knowledge to figure out who this is tied to, who it belongs to, how this guy got it, what are the repercussions of it. But like that's just a bailout, you know? Like that would be just a bailout of her just walking into the Sanctum Sanctorum and being like, "Hey, need help?" Like magic.
Yeah.
So, no, I like it said it's kind of like it's kind of small scale. Like it's all in like Chicago, you know, like if it
Yeah.
was in New York, like the Sanctum Sanctorum's in New York, like that, all that makes sense. Like everything's in New York. Baxter Building's in New York. Avengers Tower's in New York. Spider-Man's in New York. Like everything's in New York. And so like Chicago being this kind of like not off map, but like it's not like no big Avengers are going to. It doesn't make sense for any big scale people to be in there. So I like that it's kind of small scale.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just think I don't know. I like I love the magical aspect of it because like I think Anthony Ramos is doing a great job for kind of a smaller character. Like the hood is
Yeah. He's a
is
servant.
known. Yeah, he's known, but like he's not huge. And then Ironheart is known but not huge. So I think it's just I think both dynamics are very good until it brings in the kind of the big piece, which is hopefully Mephisto, and this kind of can lead into something else.
Yeah. I'd also like to see where Zeke comes in that sense.
Right.
What type of villain is he going to be, or is he even going to be one at all? I would
Or is
assume
he going to
that.
be her tech guy? Because he's got way more tech
See, and I
than
think that
she's seen.
her
Way
forgetting
more.
his tech and them showing that the police were picking it up. They're either going to connect her to the death, or they're going to find him, and I think that's what's going to turn him against her.
Right. Yeah.
Who knows? But that's just what I'm feeling.
Sure.
I had a thought, a plot hole that I was thinking about during it. So she doesn't believe in magic. She acts like she doesn't believe magic exists. But when she was
she's seen a dude fly with like
with
feathers
on his
but,
feet,
you know, whatever. Right.
and she knows Shuri ate some purple powder from a flower that was recreated,
Synthesized. Yep.
and it gave her superpowers that enhanced her outside of the suit.
And can take her to an ancestral plane.
And takes her to an ancestral. But magic doesn't exist.
Right.
She's
even though she's seen Parker disappear.
Right.
and
thinks it's technology.
And curves bullets and yeah.
Yeah, and refuses to think it's bad. My plot hole, if you want to call it that, is that like you're trying to tell me she's so analytical that she's experienced things firsthand, like somebody who, you know, sees a deity in front of them and then still says they don't believe in God or gods.
Yeah, and also the fact like she's what, been in the MCU now for like, I think she said she like 15 was when she was like first. It's been like 3 years or something like that. So I assume she's like 18 now. So she's seen like 4 years.
And she saw, she knows what Thanos did.
Yeah, the last 4 years of the MCU, and you haven't seen like phone footage of someone of like Doctor Strange doing something, or like the sky turning purple, and there being like figures out in space, and Doctor Strange having to close it, like a wizard having to close, like, yeah. Being a little numb to the magic side, that magic does exist. But then she says, like, we got aliens and wizards and whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I get that.
He's not magic. Well, how do you know he's not magic? It doesn't have to have a technological explanation when you clearly have evidence that magic also exists in this world.
Right. Sure.
It's interesting to me that she has such a analytical brain when she needs to.
Right.
And yet it doesn't really make sense in terms of depth of character for me. Honestly, that was my probably one of my biggest issues with the whole thing was just that one little detail. Right, yeah.
God, she's gonna be like,
if he showed up,
change the reality. You know what I mean? He's just gonna change the reality around her, and she's gonna be like,
I don't like it.
What kind of tech is this?
It's all in that headband. Everything's coming from that headband.
Takes it off, still does it.
You know, just one of the most powerful characters people she'd ever meet.
But
It's fine. Reed Richards' kid will be there as well.
yeah. Right.
Franklin and Wiccan walk into the same room, and no one's power level can even get close. That's going to be what I think's exciting, is the fact that those two characters are now going to exist in the MCU. The power level shot up by like 900 times.
And we just got Sentry.
And we got Sentry. Like, we got Superman now on Marvel's Superman. We've got a dark version of Marvel's Superman. We're gonna be getting Reed's kid, Franklin, and God, man, we're gonna see some S. Can't wait. There were some other things obviously that I had issues with. I didn't think like the pacing of the first episode. Second and third were way better, but I think I've said that on every show we've watched, like the past 5 Marvel shows we've watched and talked about. I think I've said the pacing in the first episode, Daredevil.
Yeah,
I feel like all of them
right.
are like, I don't like the pacing in the first episode.
Yeah, the thing with Daredevil is like you didn't like the pacing in the first episode, but like the guy, what was it? Like the guy who did the first episode also did 7 and 8.
Right, so they connected
like
it,
that.
Brought it back.
So like yeah, and like you could see that difference. And so like if one came at a time, if one was mixed into the story and then it went to 7 and 8, it would make more sense. But since they separated those parts, and then I think that originally it went from like because it was 9 episodes, right? It was like 8 and 9. So like Daredevil was 6 episodes, and then they made it to 9 by adding those 3 in. And so like Ironheart being 6 as well, you could have just done better if you paced it out and made it 9.
It was like she got expelled from college, and in the next scene she was like crashing back at home where we saw the crime group. In the next scene, Zay shows up. She like hangs out with friends. Then she stays up and like meets the dude from the crime, and he offers her a job. Next scene is her staying up all night. And she goes out and like does like all these things, trusts all these new people, and does in seemingly like an hour between each thing.
Right. Yeah.
Everything seemed to be like, you just got expelled from college, stole the tech you made technically, flew back home, and now are getting involved in what you clearly know is crime. But it's within like 24 hours of her getting expelled. Right. How is she already doing this? It felt so. I know cutscenes like 3 weeks later can be really annoying, but either do that or have some sort of reference of like her waking up one day and her mom saying something like, "Hey, it's been 2 weeks. How's the job hunt going?"
Yeah, something like that. You smell terrible. You need a shower or something something.
You haven't showered in 3 days. Just so we know that more than an hour of time has passed.
I agree. Yeah, and it sucks that like Ironheart is coming out right now because like I know that this is really just kind of like the filler until Fantastic Four, because like they are advertising Fantastic Four so much, and they're putting everything into it, which is like really good because like. Even the trailers and everything, like the trailers and like people have seen bits and pieces of it, like it's good. It's like it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be good. It looks. I watched this this Den of Nerds like guy do this video. As Den of Nerds is the YouTube channel, and he's like he used this term, and I'm like I get it. He's like, dude, this just looks crispy.
Sure,
like everything just looks crisp. It looks well done. It looks like they put time into Fantastic Four and the advertising for Fantastic Four, which means they didn't put as much into Ironheart and advertising for Ironheart. So I'm that makes sense.
I've seen more ads for Marvel Mystic Mayhem than I have seen for Ironheart.
Right. And like that makes sense. Just from like, how do you want to use your money? Do you want to use it on the $1 billion blockbuster, or do you want to use it on, your
streaming filler that makes people stay subscribe to your subscription service?
Yeah. And like I think they understand that with like Daredevil, they put a lot of time into Daredevil, and they rewrote it through 2, 3, 4 times or whatever.
Yeah.
And they brought in people, they took out people, stuff like that, a bunch of cameos and stuff too. And like I think they realized that like with Daredevil, they're like, okay, we can make Disney Plus shows, but now we do better when they're meaningful. When they're meaningful and we put a lot of effort into those Disney Plus shows. And I feel like Ironheart was like, well, shit, we're already kind of too far into this one. Let's just push it through. And now I think that like, all right, they can really work at their Disney Plus shows going forward, so that it's kind of on par for like their blockbuster, but for Disney Plus. And I think that like you're gonna have a lot of time because you basically only got 2 movies next year. You got Spider-Man and you got Avengers. So like you got 2 movies next year. You got a couple Disney Plus shows, but like you got Wonder Man at the end of the year, and that's got to tide us over for a little bit. And I have high hopes for Wonder Man. So, yeah, I think there's just a lack of Ironheart kind of representation, except like the nerds online saying they hate it for some reason. And then, but like, dude, it's good. Like if you just watch the show to enjoy the show and nerd out on things, like her suit up and like her D suit is cleaner than Tony Stark's. Like Tony Stark's like first D suit, was like, I gotta all these bits and pieces are gonna come off of me, but like she just like just popped out the whip like
so quick.
It's clean. So like that's super cool. Like just that nerdy aspect, that I think that's super cool.
I watched the trailer and my 4-year-old daughter said, "Oh, I love that girl." And then I can't remember how she phrased it, but she basically said, "She looks strong and fast." Like it was kind of like along those lines, and I was like, "Hell yeah!" It's so much more than that. But I'm glad. Like after she watched the trailer, I was like, "Yeah, they did a good job of making her look cool." And so far, I think it has everything that you want in like a casual drama that you might pick up or want to watch.
Right.
But then it also has a fun side of it when you involve Hood now. I honestly think that people could, if they like the first 2 episodes, 1 or 2, doesn't have to be both. If they like either of those, I think it gets better. Like it gets really good in episode 3, and I'm going to guess 4, 5, and 6 are like banger, banger, banger.
Right. I agree.
I'm very excited. But yeah, I can't wait. 4, 5, and 6 comes out next week. We're gonna be watching Superman soon. The weekend it comes out, we'll be doing a review for you there. We're gonna be watching Fantastic Four when it comes out. We'll do a review for you there. We're gonna react to the episodes 4, 5, and 6, which 6 is gonna be the finale. We're gonna talk about that. So yeah, we're gonna have a few regular episodes here for the next upcoming weeks, and then we'll probably have some fun episodes between then, hopefully, and keep on keeping on, you know. Says the most depressed guy. You say, "Oh, you know, can't complain." Yeah, can't complain. Yeah. Anyway, I would say if I have any if I had any questions for you as viewers, would be just honestly, what is your favorite thing so far, and what's your least favorite thing so far? That's probably what I would be most interested if I were to have a casual conversation with somebody about the show. Anything else that from you?
Let's see. I think the hood is dope.
Absolutely.
I think that mystical item is
I was
sweet.
surprised a laser could cut it, to be honest. I figured it was going to be like magically defensive.
Right. And I like that it shows that there's a toll being bared.
Yeah.
I guess, you know. He bears this toll.
Slowly getting like possessed and controlled by whatever demon can. Basically, like it feels like every time you use it, it takes a little bit more of you.
Right, and I think that Parker has good in him, obviously. Right,
Yeah.
like he's got good in him. I just think it's he's willing to do the wrong thing the wrong way.
Yep.
Rather than the wrong thing the right way.
He does everything with a selfish goal in mind, no matter how he wants to phrase it.
Yeah. Right, but he still care. Like he does care. And I
100%.
think that's like the
It's weird to think like he still seems like he could be a good guy,
right.
but he's not because
Yeah.
of what he's willing to do.
Right.
He looked like
So,
he very much enjoyed killing all those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. You trust it. Yeah. He's sometimes he gets too far gone.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like you're watching Parker do that, and I think Riri kind of didn't want to follow that same path and get too
Yeah.
far gone, but from her point of view. So yeah, I don't know. I thought I think it's good so far. Like I'd give it 7+ out of 10, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, for now I think 7 out of 10 would be fair, very fair. Definitely more than 3.
Yeah, for sure.
Dumb as hell. Sweet. Well, then we'll see you all next week for a discussion on the last 3 episodes, and hope you make it through and have a great time until then. But until then, just want to let you all look great. You all look great today. GG.
GG.